The pain of being misjudged. Now, for some people, or rather for a good number of people, life is undulating. It means that today may be your best days and tomorrow everything goes bizarre. But that's the problem. A lot of people in our society do not take cognizance of this very fact. So they rush into judging your actions and inactions. It comes with a pain. And for a good number of people, they never live to see the promises that God has for their destinies in the future, because the judgment of the people would have weighed them down so badly that they couldn't stand the chance of facing the world. I do not want to start putting names out there, but I know that you all know a good number of people who rose out of a very difficult background to stardom, and then all of a sudden it got shattered, and because the society judged them badly and they fell for the criticisms of the society, they never lived to see the plans of God for their life. And this is it. You must understand that in business, life could twist at any point. And for a good number of people who understand what I'm talking about, you would agree with me that that phase is one that you have never prayed or wished for even your enemies. It is one of the hardest things you could ever experience in this life, being misjudged for something you never did. And the sad part of it is the fact that once it starts, people who you know really close, who you probably have laughed at, have chatted, have opened your mind to, they have interacted with you to some extent, they begin to step backwards from you because of that judgment. It's even worse that even people you have helped at some point will tend to deny you. They will step away. The truth is, you actually don't want to find yourself in this very box that I'm talking about. You don't want to find yourself in that shoe. I say this because I've had these experiences personally, both in personal life and career life. And you know the most dangerous aspect of it? Those who never knew your story, once they get to hear this, they believe it. It's that bad. Now, for those who never knew my own story, they took it hook, line, and sinker. I remember one of those times when I came into Abuja newly. My friend called me one of those evenings and said, "Tim, where are you? Please, I want to see you. Meet me at the shop." And I drove to meet him because he's very close to my office, and we've known ourselves for decades. He told me about what he had at a joint, and sincerely, what he told me even shocked me personally, because the person he told me talked about me that day is someone I've seen from a distance all my life. We've never had a one-on-one contact. We've never had, I probably would say, maybe once in my life we've greeted, but even from a distance, we've never shook hands. But this is a person who has sat down in the midst of other dignitaries and had said a whole number of things destructive of my personality. And guess who gave the person this information? Another man who duped me. Who duped me is the person who gave this other guy the information, because my friend rose up to the challenge that day, even in my absence, and said, "Why would you be talking about my friend this way? Why would you be talking about him like this? Who gave you the information?" And the guy actually confessed to him that it was this man. And thank God, the very man that gave him this information, I ensured that before leaving the bank, I connected Paul to that same man and ensured that Paul took delivery of my stuff and gave to the man to keep for me in the house I was going to occupy after leaving the banking job. You see, not many of us would have that opportunity to have someone rise up to the occasion for us in such a very horrible environment. In fact, you'll be shocked that some people who know your story, when given such opportunity, will rather concoct more demeaning stories to buttress the points that whoever is giving a wrong information about you is doing. But Paul rose to my defense and narrated how he witnessed how that criminal duped me. Now, whether the man who was saying all the evil things about me in that gathering or in that session believed Paul or not is nothing I can control. But here's what I learned. Your reputation can fail, but your destiny can never. It can never fail. Listen again. Your reputation can fail in the eyes of men. But you see, destiny, which is not in the control of man, but God, will never fail. What am I trying to say? What God has written about you is louder than what people say about you. Now, here's my advice. If you have been misjudged by virtue of some mistakes you probably made, or some actions or inactions that occurred in your progress towards becoming the person of interest for your life, don't bother to waste your time explaining to people. Don't bother to waste your time defending the lies. Don't bother to waste your time narrating your side of the story, because the truth is, people naturally don't care about what you say. Once they get whatever information they want to get and they believe, that's the end. Go ahead and make all the narrations and explanations. They would never replace it for what they've heard and accepted. That's life for you. Now, if you have been misjudged, rather, what you should be doing is to spend that valuable time in rebuilding the needed truth that people must see. And I say this times and times again, based on my own experience, that you see, after all, truth will always win.